Alright guys, welcome back to our habitat series. Today we're going to be discussing fruit trees, adding fruit trees to your farm, different locations to look for, and the different strategies behind adding fruit trees to your property. Currently we're standing in a micro plot. This is just a small, it's less than 1/8 of an acre food plot, but it's a really good hidey hole transition plot. And what we're doing today is we're actually adding an apple tree in the food plot. You can add apple trees to the edges of your food sources. You could create an orchard, or you could use it as a focal point like we're doing today. I want it to be actually in the food plot. I want deer to come in, use not only the apples to eat. Eventually I would like them to use this as a scrape site. I got a deer stand 25 yards from this location, easy access, and we're trying to create a focal point and mock scrape out in front of the deer stand. So I went ahead and we cut down a small tree. If you can find like a white oak, a red oak, or a maple, those are ideal. A lot of times they have nice low horizontal hanging limbs. Unfortunately we didn't have any of that in this area, so we went ahead, cut down a small tree, and we tied a licking vine to it. I cleared out all the vegetation here with a weed whacker. Deer will probably start using this tonight. What I'm trying to do is, we have an apple tree that we just planted yesterday, and we already caged it, and I want them to get used to this spot, and they'll associate that apple tree with this licking vine. So eventually when the apple tree reaches maturity, we'll pull out this dead tree that we put in the ground. We'll swap out our licking vine, and then we'll hang a licking vine off the apple tree. If the tree takes a while to reach maturity, that's no big deal. Even if this tree rots and we need to swap it out a few times, you're just looking for a small tree, like I said, a small red oak or a small maple, just something that you can cut down at the base, dig it about 4 to 5 feet deep. That way it doesn't get pulled over, because when deer come over here and they start pulling on these limbs, you want this thing to be nice and solid. That way when they're hitting this vine here, I don't have to worry about this thing getting pulled over, knocked out of the ground, and then they'll no longer use this spot. So this is how we're going to incorporate apple trees to this food plot, but we do have larger food sources where we're going to be lining the edge of it. Not so much creating an apple orchard or a pear orchard, but we're just lining it with apple trees. That's going to add a food source, create a little diversity in that food plot. And after all, we're trying to just make each food source more attractive. So this right here, this is going to create a focal point. It's a scrape. During the rut, they're going to come in here. Bucks are going to want to check for does, check for other bucks in the area. And also, as that apple tree matures, it's going to be dropping fruit on the ground, and there's going to be a tasty food source. We're going to have brassicas and cereal grain in this food plot as well. So guys, if you're thinking about adding fruit trees to your property, this is another great way of doing it. Create a scrape tree next to your apple tree and a food source. And I know people are going to say, well, there's already a food plot here. Why do you need to add apple trees? We're just trying to create as much diversity and as much food on this property as we can possibly make available for deer, turkey, and even small game species. So we're just going to keep adding fruit trees each year to this property. We're going to find new locations, and as we do that, we'll keep you guys up to date on each fruit tree, what our ideas are behind planting it, where we're putting it, travel routes, food plots, watering holes, things like that. Thanks for tuning in on this episode. Now that turkey season's done and we're back to our habitat improvement work on the home farm, we're going to get back to our regular program, weekly episodes. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, let us know how we're doing, guys. We really appreciate it. Thanks again.